Tom was an unbelievable teammate. He was an unbelievable leader. Like, I think everybody knows he's the greatest player of all time, but they don't really understand, like, what makes him so great. Like, I'll never forget it. He was always such a good dude. And I just can't say enough good things about him, man. He was awesome, great dude to play for. And those are some awesome memories getting to do that. And I learned a ton from him. So it's something I'm really thankful for. I'll never forget getting that call with, like 5 minutes left in the draft right before you saw it on TV. And it was, the Chiefs saying, hey, we're going to take you with this last pick. And it was just an awesome feeling. It was like, a lot of people, they hear the name Mr. Irrelevant. They can kind of think, oh, this is sort of has a negative connotation. Like, this guy's not going to really do anything.
Welcome to Dealer Out of Office. We're your hosts. I'm Frank Zombo.
I'm Jake Burkle, and we are here to talk to you about dealers' interests outside of the office.
Now watch this draft.
What is up, everybody? Welcome back to Dealer Out of Office. You're Frank Zombo. I'm Jacob Burkle. We have a good one for you today. Former NFL kicker, Super Bowl champion, Mr. Ryan Succop. What is up, man? How are you?
Hey, what's up, guys? Thanks for having me on. I'm doing well. How you guys doing?
We are phenomenal.
Great deal over here.
What do you say? Better than you ever could be or ever will be? What is it?
Dwight Schrute would say.
Yeah.
From The Office, yeah.
Well, Ryan, we appreciate your time, man. And when we do these things, it's just kind of open-ended. We kind of talk beforehand of what we want to talk about, but this could go completely off the rails and we could talk about nothing we talked about earlier on. So world's our oyster. But I think the big one that people like to start out with is the football career. So, how'd you start? Kind of talks about your journey, from starting football up and through, being a Super Bowl champion.
Yeah, kind of funny actually. So I was sort of that kid. I love playing sports. Grew up in a small town in Western North Carolina, in Hickory, North Carolina, and ironically enough, I played every sport except football. I never played football, and I played soccer, I played basketball, I played baseball, and I played golf. And my freshman year of high school, my soccer coach in North Carolina, football and soccer are both in the fall, and he's like, "Man, you got to go see if you can kick for the football team." And I kept telling him, I was like, hey, look, I don't think so. Like, I'm playing soccer now. I'm going to play basketball in the winter, and then I'm playing baseball and golf in the spring. Like, four's enough. And so I told him no. And a couple weeks later, he comes back up to me and is like, hey, I really think you ought to kick for the football team. And I told him no a second time. And then the third time, it was the first week of school. And I'll never forget it. I think it was on a Tuesday. And my soccer coach came up to me and he goes, I talked to Coach Elder and I told him you'd be at football practice today. So when you're a freshman in high school and your soccer coach tells you to go to football practice, that's what you do. So I went to practice on Tuesday, and then I showed up. I was kicking that Friday in my first ever football game. And I get to the game. I had no idea. I had to ask a buddy because this is when you had like the girdles where you had to put the knee pads and the thigh pads and the butt pads. And I'm literally looking around 2 hours before the game. I've never put pads on in my life. I'm about to play a varsity football game. And I'm like asking my buddy, like, dude, where's all this stuff go? Like, help me out here. And that's how I fell into it. We won that game 7-0. I think I kicked one extra point, and I was kind of hooked from that point on.
So you kicked points in practice? Like, you were lights out in practice, or what? Like, you actually was there any other option for kicker except you, or what got you there?
Well, I had messed around. Like, I'd always kind of messed around with doing it just with like some friends, like on a soccer field or something like that. But, oh, let's kick this football. And so I went to the practice on Tuesday, and I guess I did okay. I was, not great or anything, but I guess I did fine. And then I went to the practice the next day, and then that's when they were kind of like, "Hey, like, we're suiting you up on Friday. Like, get ready." And so that's how I fell into it. And it obviously it worked out better than I ever could have imagined, and just something I kind of fell in love with, and wanted to figure out how to get better and better at it, and that's how I fell into it.
What year was that, Ryan? Because then obviously you go play college football. Like, did they have enough time to like evaluate you and give you a scholarship to South Carolina?
Yeah, so that was my freshman year of high school. Played all 4 years of high school. Started getting recruited. I think like after my sophomore year, I remember my dad, like, I went to a couple of these like kicking camps that were, in different parts of the country, and I went to those and did fairly well. And at that point, that's when I started getting recruited by a lot of schools. And by my senior season, I think I was committed to South Carolina at that point, and had not a ton of offers, but had offers from several other schools, and kind of knew at that point, like, hey, I've kind of got a gift at this, and wanted to pursue it.
So, general question, because I'm a hockey guy, I'm a lacrosse guy, I'm a golf guy. recruiting wise, from your experience, what does that look like? And is that any different from like a specialist type position? Like you said, kicking camps, it's not like linebacker camps, right?
Yeah, for us, I mean, for me, how mine went down is you have teams that are like, especially when you're at bigger. I was at a bigger school in Detroit, I would say, the Detroit suburbs. You get scouts that just come to games and watch. You do go to some, like I went to like Nike camp, and maybe Ryan did some of these as well, like Nike camp, or in different colleges will hold these like different showcases, I guess.
Okay.
And you can, perform there. But then they probably put you on their radar, and then they'll come and watch your games. And I got offered, I remember, after one of our football games, and then Central Michigan invited me to one of their games. Like following that, I went to the game. Brian Kelly, who was at Notre Dame and always, he was our coach at Central Michigan, offered me my scholarship. And then it was different. Like I just kind of, once somebody believed in me, I was like, you gave me a scholarship, I'm going to Central Michigan. It's like I stopped taking not that I had a bunch of people knocking my door down, but I was a MAC school, and it was just like, all right,
no NIL then.
No NIL then. It was just like, you're coming to Central Michigan. I was like, all right, great. So yeah, that's kind of
so what does that look? What did that look like for you, Ryan? Was that very similar, or was that just kind of you go to more like specific kicking camps, specialist camps?
Yeah, I think for me, it was going to those camps. Went to a couple of the camps, started getting some recognition from doing well at those. And actually, yeah, Frank, South Carolina was my first like Division I offer, and it was kind of the same thing for me where they offered first. I'll never forget, Auburn came into the picture late and offered me, and they had just gone 13-0, and they didn't go to the national championship that year because it was 2004, and USC and Oklahoma also went. The other SC went undefeated, and they got into the national championship. And I remember thinking, like, wow, like Auburn just went 13-0. They just offered me a scholarship. I really thought about doing it. Coach Spurrier had just taken the job at South Carolina. I picked him up at the Hickory Airport. He came, did the in-house visit, kind of made me feel like South Carolina was a good fit for me. And obviously I stuck with the commitment, and I'm really glad that I did. It all worked out really, really well.
So one thing cool about, it probably helped Ryan too, is like normally soccer players are smaller guys. Probably the first time I ever tell you this, Ryan. But Brian's like a bigger dude. Like for a kicker, like he's probably one of the bigger, decent size arms and things, but bigger type kicker. One cool story. Ryan is a prankster, so we're gonna get that out. Like I didn't realize this when I first got there. I probably have some stories later on of just he's always like figuring out a way to like tease you, and it's fun in a locker room. Like you need that. Like we do the same thing here, but you need those. Ryan's a glue guy like that. And one of the good stories, remember talk about his size, is when he did go to the Titans. He told me the story like after, but there was like an old lineman that came in, who was like coming to work out, and Ryan had like 275 on an incline bench press, and one of the old linemen, like one of these new college old linemen, came in and he had like 245 on, and Ryan was like I think he had 255 on or something. Don't get me wrong. You went in and took the whatever, and then threw 275 on. You repped it for a couple times. You're like, and I'm the kicker. Welcome to the NFL, or something like that. And like walked away. Like, I don't know if you even remember that. You told me that story. I was like, damn, that's awesome. Like welcome to the NFL. I'm the kicker.
Yeah, I do. I remember that. I tried to look. Our position's definitely a little different, right? Like it's different than playing linebacker. It's different than playing receiver, something like that, where you're in on every down. So for me, I enjoyed working out. I felt like I also felt like our position was like one where it's real. Like if things are going great, everybody loves you. If you miss a kick at a crucial time, like I never wanted people to look at me and think like, oh, he could have worked harder to make that kick. And so I always thought like, hey, like build up some equity with the dudes, put the work in, let them see you working really hard. I just always felt like that was the right way to do it. And I just kind of loved working out. So I do remember the story you're talking about, Frank. And it was kind of fun to kind of poke the bear a little bit with some of those guys, and hopefully add a little motivation to them, because I don't think they wanted that getting back to the strength coach that your boy over there was putting a little. That's right.
So going back to the timeline, Ryan, it's documented that there's a certain nickname for you after the NFL draft. Kind of take us through, that, what you're thinking, that process. Like, was NFL like fully on your radar? And then of course you get drafted, and then, just kind of that whirlwind of how that all worked out.
Yeah, great question. So I was in my senior season at South Carolina, and I was off to like a great start. Like the first 4 or 5 games, I was really playing well. I was getting like really excited about the opportunity to go play in the NFL. And I don't know, week 4, week 5, I started getting this awful pain in my abdomen, and I didn't know what it was. Like couldn't get out of bed, couldn't do a crunch. Long story short, I had a sports hernia, or had kind of torn the rectus abdominis off the bone, and I didn't know what to do. There's 7 or 8 games left in my senior year. I want to play. Um, End up like kind of doing what we all do, taking the Toradol shot before every game. Tried to play, couldn't really practice during the week because it was so painful. And long story short, I had a really bad like my last 7 or 8 games, like didn't go well. I missed a ton of kicks. I remember like feeling so like being like, you kind of feel sorry for yourself. Like, why is this happening now? Like, I mean, I've been so good for my last 3, 4 years here at Carolina. Like, why is this going to happen my senior season and probably prevent me from pursuing my dream of playing in the NFL? And I remember it was kind of wild because I played the rest of that year. I played in the bowl game, and then like 2 days after the bowl game, I flew to Philadelphia. I got the surgery with Dr. Myers, and thankfully, our pro day at South Carolina that year was really late. It was like at the end of March, and it gave me just enough time to recover from the surgery. And I had a really good pro day. And from that point, I started getting interest again because a lot of scouts saw me. I think word had kind of gotten around like, hey, this is what he was dealing with. And in a weird way, like it actually probably benefited me a little bit because I remember having this conversation with Scott Pioli, who was the general manager in Kansas City that ended up drafting me. And I remember one of the things he said was that like, hey, we actually like we love the fact that like you didn't just go get surgery in October and like get it fixed. Like you tried to gut it out for the team. It kind of showed like a team first mentality. And even though like I didn't play as well as I wanted to, in their eyes, it was kind of a positive to, that I wasn't going to quit or something like that. And so that was really cool. Got into the draft, didn't know what was going to happen. Kind of thought I'd maybe be signed as an undrafted free agent. And I'll never forget getting that call with, like 5 minutes left in the draft right before you saw it on TV. And it was, the Chiefs saying, hey, we're going to take you with this last pick. And it was just an awesome feeling. It was like, a lot of people, they hear the name Mr. Irrelevant. They can kind of think, oh, this is sort of has a negative connotation. Like this guy's not going to really do anything. And for me, I always looked at it as a positive. Like I was like, hey man, this is like an opportunity for me to like go pursue my dream that I've had for the last 4 years. And I just want to try to make the most of it. So I didn't care what you called me. Like you could call me anything. And I looked at it as an opportunity. So it was really cool how it worked out.
And talking about how Ryan too, like pranks, there was a period of time, and nothing about Ryan's pranks is like, he's one of those guys that doesn't like make a joke and then like be like, oh, I'm just kidding with you. He like lets you go on with it for like a long time. Like I remember asking him like, oh, Mr. Relevant, like, what is that? Like, he's like, oh, it's cool. He's like, yeah, they give you like $1 million bulk. Cause like when you're like later in the draft picks, like undrafted free agent, you get a small signing bonus. Like a late round draft pick, you might get, I don't know, 20, 30, I don't know. But he's like, oh, it's sweet when you're Mr. Irrelevant because they give you like $1 million signing bonus. And I'm like, holy shit, like it's $1 million just for being Mr. Irrelevant. Like that's really cool. Probably let me go like 2 years of thinking that, and then like I find out no, that's not true. And then it's true. I was actually watching that. This is a couple. What?
No, it gets worse. It gets worse, man. We had a kid. I would always tell those guys, I'd be like, man, they're like, hey, what's it like being Mr. Relevant? And like there were some of it that was true. Like you really did go to Disney World. They do have a week for you out in Newport Beach, California. Like they actually do give you like a ton of gifts, and you do get all this, different stuff. And people kind of hear about that. They're like, hey, don't you get a car? Or don't you get a Rolex or whatever? Which like I didn't really get any of that, but I think I did get a nice watch and got some other things. And it's funny because people hear about that, and then you just kind of throw in some stuff like, yeah, it's really cool. Like, Disney gets behind it. They give you $1 million bucks. And because it's a gift, you don't pay normal income tax on it. And, you just start throwing in this stuff. And, but it gets bad because we had a kid drafted in Tennessee that was Mr. Irrelevant when I was here. And one of the tight ends was like, Succop, you got to get him. Like, you got to get him. You got to tell him he's getting $1 million bucks and all this stuff. And so like I go through the whole shebang with him, the whole deal, dude. I've never felt worse in my life. Like it wasn't planned. I just kind of forgot to tell him it was a joke. And he got back from a relevant week, and he was like, I was like, hey man, how was it? Like, did you guys have fun? He's like, oh yeah, it was cool. Like, we did this, we did that, and there was a lot of stuff that I had done. And then he's like, hey, when did they send that check? And I was like, oh man, dude, I felt so bad. And I was like, I think his name was Kalen Reed. And I was like, Kalen. I was like, dude, man, I'm sorry. I forgot to tell you that was a joke, man. That's my bad. And he was just like crushed.
This kid's like spending money. Like, that money's gone.
But anyway.
All right. Well,
that
one, that's watching, sorry, buddy.
I know, man. It's when it goes too far.
Ryan, I was actually watching what was it, Swamp Kings or something, the one with the Florida, Tim Tebow and all that stuff. And did you kick a game winner again to Florida to like knock them out or something? I could have swore.
That's the story that we could go with if you want to, Frank. I like that ending a lot better than what actually happened. But no, they
Dude, no. I'm so,
do you not? Have I never told you this?
Wait,
dude, I could have sworn I watched him. Like, oh, Ryan kicks the game winner like to beat Florida, or did it was
Oh,
the other way and Florida won? It was,
dude. So that was
dude,
my
I'm dead
sophomore
serious. The
year.
way I in my mind, as you said, it would say Ryan Succop kicks game winner against Florida to beat them. Maybe because it was
No.
cheerful on the Florida side, but whatever in my brain.
Yeah, so dude, we were playing at Florida, and it was Coach Spurrier's first game back at Florida, and he obviously had coached there for a long time and all that. To this day, it's the loudest I've ever heard a stadium. But dude, I had a field goal with like 3 seconds left from 48 yards that would have won if I'd made it. And Jarvis Moss, who I don't know if you remember him, the big D end, he got a hand on it, he blocked it, and Florida won. And
Okay, good.
it was last play of the game.
I'm
That
glad
place
it
went
got blocked and
crazy.
it didn't go wide right.
Yeah, no, it didn't go wide right.
Okay,
It was
I'm glad it
and
got blocked and it didn't go wide right.
yeah. Either way, it didn't go in.
Dude.
But the bad part is, and this is, you can go read about this. Jarvis Moss had failed a drug test the week before that game, and he was supposed to be suspended. And Florida waited to announce it, and they suspended him the following week against Western Carolina. And South Carolina fans like still talk about that. How, man, we should have won that game. Like he shouldn't have been in there. And that's how it goes, man. Such is ball.
Such as
Florida's
ball.
a bunch of crooks.
Bunch.
right.
Find that out after everything comes out.
Yeah. So,
That's right.
Ryan, you're the second former teammate of Frankie Boy here. So I gotta, obviously he's gullible. We got him on that one. But is there any good Zombo stories that you want to share that would just? I want to laugh. I want something to hold over his head if I can do it. So what do you got?
I mean, this is Frankie. I think of Frankie as like the ultimate dudes dude, right? Like whether it's like you want to talk golf, like he's going to know a little bit of
building
golf.
him up,
You want
dude. Wrong
you want to
direction.
talk. Hold on. You want to talk hunting? Like he loves hunting. You want to talk cars? He's got like 7 Mustangs because he's from Detroit. Like whatever, he's like the dudes dude, right? Like whatever you want to talk about. But like, I think some of my favorite stuff when it comes to Frank, there's one story on here. I don't know if we can share it, Frank. Just the implications of, when we shot that deer that one time, or you shot that deer the one time. The other one that comes to mind is when you were down in Charleston and you were grinding so hard on the range, you were getting into golf, and you're like, hey man, take a video, just take a video. And I like, Frank is over this ball. He's so focused. It's like the first shot I'm going to film him hitting, and he just like cold shanks this thing, and it was so mad. Like, how he's like intense, like he tries really hard, he's really putting forth his best effort, and then he just like cold shanked it. I actually still, if I'm ever having a bad day, sometimes I'll just like go look at that video because it makes me laugh of Frank just cold shanking that ball in the driving range.
Did he do the head thing still? Did he do the head thing back then? You know what I'm talking about?
No, my game's way better than it.
What's that?
It's way better now.
Do you know what I'm talking about? You ever seen him do? All right, hold on. Let me get the camera. Like,
Well, I can't see you. I can't see you guys. How do I see you guys? I'm looking at just the sign.
I'm gonna do it. Like this camera. I don't know.
I bring my head back so then I get more shoulder rotation.
No. But you do this like.
Look at it.
You do like, I don't know. You like a chick. Like you like do something with your neck, and it's hilarious.
You're crazy. I don't do that.
All right. In any event.
That's funny. The hunting story was one where, I mean, we got in trouble. I already got in trouble. I mean, we got in trouble for it. It was bad. But yeah, I don't know.
We could edit this out.
Yeah,
sure.
it was
like all of what you said can be edited out.
You didn't realize how crazy the DNR is in Kansas. I'll tell you that.
I just remember that story when I'm like, Frank, we're like going through it. We're getting called by DNR, and I'm like, dude, what do we do? And I'm like, and I'm basically insinuating, like, Frank, are you going to say anything? Like, what are you going to do? And he's like, dude, I'm Italian. Italians don't snitch, man. Like, I'm not snitching. And I was like, all right, this is my guy.
No rat.
I ain't no rat.
Yeah, that's right. Snitches get stitches, bro. I ain't
told
talking.
the complete truth to him. I didn't say anything about anybody, but I basically just told him the truth on everything. I was like, all right, I'm just gonna spill the complete beans. Yeah. One of my hunting stories I like with Ryan is when I first met Ryan. I like got in there. I didn't really know a lot of guys, but like I sit at a table and it's like a bunch of dudes like wearing camouflage, and I had just come out of Green Bay, and it was like you, Thomas, and Colquitt. So our long snapper, our punter, and our kicker, And I'm like, I sit down at like the breakfast table, and they're like, "Oh yeah." I'm like, "You guys hunt?" We're talking back and forth. They show me a picture of some deer, and they're like mega monsters. And I'm already thinking I'm coming to Kansas, like the land of giants. But these are ones that they're like, let's prank this new dude and tell him like these deer are on Colquitt's property. And so I'm thinking these deer are on this property. So I'm in this blind. It's me and Ryan. And like I'm sitting there and he's like, bro, that buck, it's coming. And it was like, he's like, I'm like, where? And he's like, it's behind him. You can't see it. And he's sitting there watching me shake for like 5 minutes because I think in this like 200-inch deer is going to come around the corner. I have like my bow like ready to rock. I'm like shaking and so he's like, 5 minutes later, he's like, nah, dude, I'm just messing that deer. That deer's not even in this. It's in another, it's probably in Missouri or whatever, Wisconsin, but always messing around.
Frank, we had fun, dude. We had a remember that year when we started like 13. We were really bad the year before, and then we started 13-0. Or
you
no,
guys were like 2-14, and Coach Reed
and then
came in.
Right, and then we signed Zombo, and we started 9-0 because we signed Frank. And but the good thing with Andy was that when you won, you had Victory Monday. So it was like, or it was, hey, see you on Wednesday, basically. And like that was a fun season of life, man. Like I don't think we had kids yet. It was a bunch of young guys, and we would hunt hard, man. We would Mondays and Tuesdays during the season. Like we were deer hunting, we were duck hunting, those were fun years, man. I look back on those with some good memories, man.
That was a great year because we had, like exactly you said, we had no kids. We were like rent a pontoon boat. Like camp was over. We had all the Italian. We had Anthony Fasano, Mike Catapano, Mike DeVito. There's a bunch of Italians on that team. Anyway, but we would hang out with the wives. We were going to dinners all the time. We were hunting like crazy. We'd go get a workout maybe on Mondays, and then we were just like hunting deer, hunting ducks, golfing. I remember Ryan beat us. He was like, Ryan beat me with a 7-iron, just a 7-iron. Ryan's a good golfer. He's a 4, +4. And he's like, do you think I could beat you on the back 9 with just a 7-iron? Getting out of sand traps, putting, everything. Ryan can play.
That's embarrassing.
Yeah, it was embarrassing. I wasn't as good as I am now. Now I wouldn't get beat by a 7-iron, but I wouldn't come close. I'll tell you that.
Anyway, so I want to talk golf, but I want to wrap up football because you do have a ring. You played with one of the GOATs. Kind of take, like, I know your football experience, I know your Super Bowl experience, a little bit different. You were a little later on in your career. So take us kind of through, like, you're a vet, you're with, TB12, kind of, what is that whole experience like? What is that, when look for all you guys?
Yeah. So, and actually, let me back up just a little bit. So obviously, like, I started in Kansas City. I played 5 years there, played 6 in Tennessee with the Titans. And this, Frank and I were talking about this before going on the pod, but like, so I guess I was in my 11th year, and I ended up having surgery on my knee in Tennessee, and just didn't come back from it like the way I was hoping to. And we always say NFL stands for not for long, not National Football League. And when you get hurt and you don't play well, like, you kind of know what's coming. And so I get released in Tennessee. And at the time I remember thinking, like, gosh, like, this just doesn't seem right. Like, man, I've had a really good run here. It had some of my best years, had one hiccup on my knee, and it's like, man, you're out the door. And I was kind of scarred by it, and took that whole off season, sort of got healthy, which was a blessing. And I'll never forget, it was the COVID year. And so nobody's really signing anybody in the off season. And like 2.5 weeks before the season starts, Tampa calls me and they're like, hey, like, we want to bring you down for a workout. I'm like, all right, cool. So I get down there. Like, it's me and a couple other guys, and the workout goes well. I'm like, all right, they're probably going to want to sign me. And then sure enough, like that afternoon, they're like, hey, we want to sign you. They offer a contract or whatever. And I remember, like, it was probably, like, looking back on it, it was probably like some fear, probably some anxiety that was like dealing into the decision, where it was like, I was just coming off a knee surgery. I didn't know how healthy I really was. I was about to be playing with Tom Brady, the greatest quarterback of all time. We were going to have all these primetime games. And like, I think I had some of that like doubt in the back of my head, like, man, am I still going to be the same player that I was, previously? And so I was like going back and forth. I almost didn't sign the contract, and was just praying about it. Anyway, Lord made it very clear that I was supposed to be in Tampa. So I called my agent. I was like, hey, let's do it. Signed the contract. That season was just awesome. Like, probably had the best year of my career that year. Even coming off the knee surgery, we go, win the Super Bowl. So fulfilling, so rewarding, like, just doing it with some awesome teammates, some awesome coaches. And I look back at that and it's like one of these cool moments where it's like, man, I never would have been in that situation had I not gone through the adversity that I went through the year before, coming off the knee surgery, having all the disappointment that I had where I didn't play well in games, like dealt with the humiliation, dealt with all the stuff that comes along with it. And so it just is kind of like a testament and something that I've sort of kept with me where it's like, even when things aren't going well, like, man, the Lord's got a plan for you. He's going to figure out, put you in the best situation. And like when you're going through that stuff, when it's not going well, like usually he's doing it to teach you something. Usually he's doing it to humble you a little bit. Usually there's like a purpose behind it. And so that was pretty cool just to see the Lord's hand in it. And, I got to learn so much from my time down there in Tampa. Like Tom was an unbelievable teammate. He was an unbelievable leader. Like I think everybody knows he's the greatest player of all time, but they don't really understand like what makes him so great. Like I'll never forget, he was always such a good dude. Like whether it was you were Mike Evans and you were the number one receiver, or whether you were the dude in the equipment room, like folding towels, like he treated everybody so well, made you feel important, like made you feel valued. And I just can't say enough good things about him, man. He was awesome, great dude to play for. And those are some awesome memories getting to do that. And I learned a ton from him. So it's something I'm really thankful for.
That's incredible.
Really cool to hear that, especially about Tom Brady too, because I had a similar experience with like Aaron Rodgers. Like that was the guy who was hanging out with the guy in the equipment room. Like he didn't. So same thing. We had good quarterbacks. Alex Smith, Patrick Mahomes. All those guys. I just had Pat when he was younger, but I'm sure he's like that. Just there's a reason why those guys are MVP caliber guys. Players, because they're MVP caliber people too.
Why does the media, in your guys' opinion, right? You play with these guys, you know who they truly are. Like you see bunch of bullshit about Aaron Rodgers. You see Tom Brady's the devil. You see all this kind of stuff. Like, what is it? Just because they need clickbait? Like, what? Why can't they just be honest about who these people are?
What's your take, Ryan?
I think obviously they want stuff that sells. They want stuff that stirs up controversy. I mean, you could probably say the same when you turn on the news now, and it's like not even talking sports, where you see stuff on the news and it just kind of is set to try to pit people against each other or take one side, that type of thing. So I don't know, man. Those guys were awesome. I'll tell you this, like, and this kind of sums up Tommy to me, is I'll never forget my first year. He had this guy, Alex Guerrero, who was like the guy that took care of his body, like all of his tissue work, all of his, workouts, just like it was his guy. I'd been with him for like 16 years. And Tom was like generous enough to let other guys work with Alex if he wasn't using them. And I'll never forget, I would always get to the stadium early on Sunday mornings because I wanted to get all my stuff done before Tom came in. And I'll never forget, we're playing the Vikings one year, and I get to the stadium like 3.5, 4 hours before the game. And Alex just starts working on me. And I guess Tom was like dealing with something. So he came in earlier than normal to get a little extra tissue work. Anyway, I'm laying down on the table and Tom comes in. And so I'm like trying to get up off that table as quick as I can. Cause I'm like, dude, I don't want to be in Tom's way. And so I try to get up and Tom's like, no. He's like, hey, take your time. He's like, man, I'll wait. And I'm like, no. I'm like, Tommy, hey, look, I don't want to be in your way, man. Like, I'll come back. Like, do whatever you need to do. Like, I'll come back when you guys are done. He's like, no, Ryan, I'm serious. He's like, he's like, we're going to need you today. Like, if you feel good, you're going to play good, and we're going to need you. It's going to help us win. So Alex is like, hey, you heard him. So I like lay back down. Tom's just sitting there hanging out, talking with us for the next like 10, 15 minutes as Alex is like doing some tissue work on me, getting me ready for the game. And I'm like, man, get this thing over with. Like, I don't want to make Tom wait. And he was just like sitting there waiting. And sure enough, we go out. It wasn't a game winner, but it was like a late in the fourth quarter. I hit a big one to kind of, I think, made it like a two score game and kind of put the game away. And he was just like, hey, I told you we were going to need you today, man. And that was him. Like, he would put his teammates, before him. He was just that like summarizes him. And I'll never forget that, because I think a lot of guys in his position could easily be like, hey man, you got to get up, I'm here. And he like was totally the opposite of that, which was just, it was just really cool. So that's always stood with me, like how he treated people.
That's awesome. That's great to hear.
Yeah, I'd rather hear those stories. Like those are stories you should report on. So in any event,
I mean, I'm not a huge fan. He ended a lot of my seasons when we were in Kansas City. Like, it's 3 of my seasons ended at his hand. So I'm never not a huge fan, but like I like to hear that kind of stuff. Just a good dude.
Yeah.
So Ryan, I think I love the football, and I think what's cool about your story is like, and I'm thinking of all your stories and what you've done. But like, I don't know what you would sum up if you had one word to sum up your career. What would you say? Because I have kind of in my mind kind of what I would like resilient, one of the more resilient careers I've heard of. What's kind of something that stuck with you, or what do you want your kids to learn from your career, or anything like that? Is there anything specific that you want to take from that?
Yeah, I like resilient because I definitely had the ups and downs, man. Like had dealt with the injuries, dealt with getting cut a couple times, and then at the same time got to experience some of those mountaintop moments as well. But I think probably through it all, I think one word that I would hope other people would say would be consistent, like, and not just when it came to kicking, but like consistent as a dude, like tried to work the same every week or every day, tried to, kind of be the same guy every day. I think that would probably be the word I would choose would be consistent.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
All right. Now something that I'm actually good at. Golf.
Let's go. Let's go.
So
now we're talking.
Did you actually get off with your swing coach earlier? Were you
Yeah.
were you legitimately with your swing coach earlier? Or is that a joke?
No, yeah. So I don't know if I've even told Frankie about this. So
Yeah.
basically, yes, I was working with my swing coach. So they have basically started this within the last year. There's a group that's gotten together, and there is a professional athlete golf tour right now. And we actually just had a tournament like 2 weeks ago, and we got another one coming up here at the end of the March. But essentially, we've got 100 and maybe 30 guys across the NBA, the NFL, the NHL, and the MLB. And so basically, you got like they're trying to get like the 30 best guys in each sport. We come together. We have one tournament a month, and it's really cool because the way it's set up, you have about 80 guys get into each tournament, right? You have 130 that want to play, only 80 get in. The top 40 that finish in every tournament automatically get into the next tournament. If you're 41 through 80, then you basically have to sit out a tournament, and those other guys that didn't get to play get a chance to play. And it's a season long deal where at the end of we play, like we had a tournament in December, we just had one in February, and then we go February, March, April, May, June. At the end of the June tournament, if you're in the top 8 of the money list of your sport, so the top 8 NFL guys, the top 8 NHL guys, the top 8 NBA, and top 8 MLB, those 32 guys make it to the first playoff event. And then after that playoff event, it goes to the top 4 on the money list of each sport. So basically, it's like a season long money list, and you're trying to be in the top 8 of your sport and then in the top 4 of your sport to make it to the championship event where you have the top 4 of each sport competing to try to win like the season long deal. And man, it's been awesome. Like it's been so fun getting to know all these guys from different sports. The competition is like dude, it's legit. Like there are a lot of really good players. You know, you'll play. Everybody will go hang out in the locker room after the game, and you got like the basketball guys talking to the hockey guys. You got the hockey guys talking crap to the football guys or to the baseball guys, and it's just like the trash talk, the camaraderie of it. Like it's a really cool deal. And so, yeah, I've actually been like really trying to chase it and trying to play well. And so yeah, earlier today I was working with my swing coach here in Nashville and trying to get ready for the tournament we got coming up in about 3 weeks down in Mississippi. So looking forward to it, man.
I'm really upset, Ryan, because there was a time where I caddied for you in that San Diego tournament back in 2013, and I haven't. Who's your caddy for this tournament?
You know what? So some guys bring caddies. Some of the guys definitely bring their caddy to every tournament. I haven't been doing that because we are allowed to ride in carts, so you don't have somebody like carrying the bag. But a lot of guys will have a caddy to like help them read putts, get them yardages, that type of thing. And but I've kind of been doing it myself. I hadn't really had a caddy yet, but maybe Frankie, you're my secret weapon, man. Maybe you're what I need to get over the hump because I'm kind of right there, like close to finishing in the top 10 each week, but trying to, need to play just a shot or two better. Maybe I need to get you on the bag soon.
Yeah, because you know what I mean. I would take your mind away from golf. We'll just be chatting about the ducks that fly by, or also be like, was that a mallard or a black duck that just whizzed by?
That's
I've
right.
been in events with Frankie where he just belittles you to playing better. Yeah. He just berates you and beats you down until you start playing better.
So that could be against you. You know what I mean? That's why.
No, that was an outing. We were together on that one.
It was before something.
There wouldn't be a lack.
I actually have a lot of questions about this.
Yeah.
So
what's
speaking
up?
of trash talk, who talks? I mean, I'm a hockey guy my whole life.
Yeah.
We're pretty good at talking shit. So
yeah,
who trash talks the best between the 4 big sports?
All right, so the hockey guys are definitely the wildest. I'll tell you that. Like the hockey guys, I'm playing with a guy in the last tournament, or a couple of tournaments ago. We get to the one hole. His name was James Wisniewski, I think, and Wiz is awesome, man.
Wisniewski, yep.
Yeah, do you remember that name? Everybody loves him. He's actually a really good golfer. Like he can really play. And we're on like the 4th hole. We're in like a match play event, I think. And he like gets something out of his bag and he's like blowing into it. I'm like, Wiz, like, what are you doing? I'm like, is that a breath? He goes, watch this. And he blows into it. He tells me like what his number was, what his blood alcohol number was going to be. Can't remember what it was, like 0.12 or something. He's like, watch this, 0.12. I'll hit a perfect drive. He blows into it. It's 0.12. He goes, watch me pump this drive. Hits it perfect. And he's like, look, if I'm 0.14, no good. If I'm 0.10, no good. 0.12 is I play my best golf. And I'm like, this dude's an animal. And sure enough, that's like his caddy's job is to keep him right there. And dude, he played great golf. Like he was really good. But in the hockey guys, man, they're wild. They get after it. The baseball guys are probably they're the deepest. Like they have the most amount of really good players. Like baseball is a tough sport, man.
Really?
Those guys can crank a golf ball. Like there are some dudes that hit it places that like there's a guy, Aaron Hicks out there, Aaron Hicks and Josh Donaldson that are like, I think Aaron played for a few teams. Josh played for a few teams, really good players. They're hitting like 200 ball speed, 200 mile an hour ball speed consistently with a driver. And like,
God.
if you go look on the PGA Tour and look at like a Bryson
there's
DeChambeau, a Rory McIlroy, those guys are like the top end dudes on tour are like 190, 191. And these guys are hitting it like 200. Like there's nobody on tour that hits it as far as some of these guys do.
Are
like
we keeping it in the grid though?
Dude, they can play. I'm telling you, they can play. Yes, that's what's like so impressive is a lot of those baseball guys, it doesn't even look like they're trying to hit it hard, but they're just so good at like one, they're obviously great athletes, but also like they just know how to generate power and generate torque. And it's like it actually like looks pretty effortless. And then you're like, holy cow, he just hit that ball 370 yards and he wasn't even like swinging out of his shoes. It's pretty unbelievable. So there's some really good players. It makes it fun. Yeah. Yeah. So it's
can they hit that shot? The little 75 yarder over the bunker to a tucked pin? Or they have all the shots?
Dude, they're good. These guys can play. They're not just hitting it the wrong way.
Right.
Like they can
What's
they
the
can
average
play.
index?
So you
What's the
have to
average
be
index, Ryan? I know you're low, but
yeah, so you have to be a 6 handicap or lower to get in. I will say this, to make a cut, like if you're going to finish in the top 40 and make a cut, I don't think there's many guys that are over like a 1 or 2 handicap that are going to make cuts. Like there's a lot of guys that are scratch or better playing in this. So the competition's real. And the thing that's kind of cool about it is like they're not necessarily going after, you know, the biggest. It's not like Tahoe, the event they have in Tahoe, where it's like, hey, we want a ton of celebrities, we want the big names. This is more about like, hey, we want this to be about competition. And like the way it's all set up, it's all about competition, which I love because it kind of, I don't know, I'm a competitive dude and I just love to go out there and compete. It's giving me something to work at and chase. And it's cool because it's like every month you have a tournament. So like you get done with one tournament and you're like, all right, man, what can I do better? Like, how do I play better than I did the last week? And you find yourself just like working at it constantly, trying to get a little bit better. It's honestly kind of scratches the itch of like what we did playing football for a long time. Except we're doing it on the golf course and I'm pretty fired up about it, as you can tell.
Yeah. Who's at the top of the list right now? Like top 10? I mean, are you in the top 10? What are we doing?
Yeah, so it's kind of done by sport. So like right now, I think I'm second out of all the football guys. So and you're really like, hey, you're kind of jockeying to be in the top 8 by the end of June, and then in the top 4 by the end of that. So like I'm just trying to like keep playing well, keep getting better, put myself in position. But yeah, the baseball guys, man, they're like Tyler Clippard. He's won 2 tournaments. He's a really good player. Aaron Hicks is a really good player. Joe Pavelski, the hockey player, is a stick.
Sick. I've heard he's sick.
Oh, he's really good.
He won Tahoe, didn't he?
Yeah. Oh, so what's crazy about this is we have guys that have won Tahoe like multiple times playing in this, and like Romo played last tournament. I think Romo's won Tahoe, and like I don't know where he finished, but like he's not winning these tournaments. Like, and Romo's a really good player. So there's just like a lot of competition at this, which is cool. Mark Mulder's another guy, the pitcher. I think he's won Tahoe like 3 or 4 times. Really good player. So it's pretty cool to see those guys and get to compete against them. And there's a lot of good players.
Do you guys have any matches like farther north later, like in close to the summer, like Michigan, Wisconsin, anything like that?
We have one. I think August is going to be in New York. I got to look exactly where it is, but I think it's in New York. So I don't know how, it's probably not too close to you guys, but there was talk about us going to Ohio, and I think that maybe got changed to a different location. Yeah.
So who sets this up? This is like the
Yeah, who's
NFL
what's the
PA,
league pay?
NBA PA, like they kind of like set that up with you guys, or who runs
No,
it?
okay. So there's a guy. The guy that founded is a guy named Tim Wilbanks, and he is out of Alabama. And I think it's kind of been his idea for a long time to want to do it. He was able to go. So John Smoltz, the pitcher for the Brave, you remember John Smoltz?
Yeah.
He's a really good golfer, by the way, and he plays on the tour, and he also serves as commissioner. So Smoltz is the commish. Tim Wilbanks is like the founder and CEO, and then they were able to get a guy, Robert Blevins, out who I think owns a big oil and gas company out of Houston, and he's like really backing the thing because it's like you go to these tournaments, it is like really well done. Like there's a pretty decent purse in each tournament. That like all you have a training room, you have PTs there like stretching you, you've got recovery set up, you've got. I mean, it's like you feel like I don't know what it feels like to play in a PJ Tour event, but it feels like you're playing in like a real event. Like it's pretty cool. So they're like really doing it right. The guys love it, and it's cool because you're kind of getting to know the guys and compete against them, once a month now. And so it's like I don't know, you're kind of getting to know all the guys from different sports, and I think a network deal is probably in the cards within the next year, is what it sounds like, where it's going to be.
Oh wow.
You might start seeing this on like a Netflix or an Amazon Prime or something like that, where one of those companies like a streaming service kind of picks it up. I think that's sort of the goal right now. But it's awesome. We're loving it. We're having fun playing in it, and it's been pretty cool.
That is neat.
That's
I wouldn't
incredible.
mind watching that because then it's like watching I mean, obviously they're really good, but you're not. You can watch some bad slices or something every once in a while. I imagine that maybe
That's right.
I don't know.
That's right. Yeah.
There's probably some 6 handicaps in there too that are probably messing up every once in a while.
100%. 100%. It would definitely be relatable to your everyday golfer.
To my game.
Is it 4 rounds? Like what's the
Yeah, so 3-day
match play,
tournaments.
stroke play?
Yeah, it's 3-day tournaments.
Does it live?
It's well, it's like Stableford, but so basically stroke play. But it's like
Yeah.
you get 2 points for a par, 4 points for a birdie, and then one point for a bogey and -1 for a double or worse. So the good thing is like the worst you can make is a double bogey, because you kind of pick up after that. But and that's kind of helpful just for speed of play, because you're going to have some guys that are going to make some big numbers and you don't want them like slowing down the tournament. So essentially it's a stroke play tournament.
Yeah.
And there's like rules officials. I mean, it sounds like, not that you guys are all respectable human beings, but like, yeah, like, I mean, sometimes the rules of golf, even, what is this, as a club length, no further. Like, I mean, unless you're professional golfer, you don't know the full book all the time. Right. So are there guys
You're
out there
right.
walking with you?
Yeah, you have a scorer in each group, and then there's rules officials. So like if you have any questions, a rules official will come over, make sure you're doing it the right way. I'm telling you, it's like really well done. Like you feel like you're playing in a real deal golf tournament, which has been cool.
And you have to be a former player.
Jake wants
Yeah, you have to have
what's
played.
like the criteria? Like you six.
Yeah, you have to have played. I don't know exactly the number of seasons, but you have to have played a certain number of seasons in either the NHL, NBA, MLB, or NFL. And then they actually the last couple tournaments they've had a little subcategory for like we've had a couple soccer guys and a couple tennis guys. Like Marty Fish, actually, tennis guy, a stick. He's a really good player, and like Taylor Twellman is a soccer player. That's really good too. So they're starting to let some of like the really good players from the other sports get in. But like actually this last tournament, there was a Japanese contingency there, and they basically were checking it out, and they were like, "Hey, we want to get the 16 best Japanese professional athletes and do a Ryder Cup against the 16 best American athletes." And so there's talk of like, what are we going to do? Are we going to meet in Hawaii and have a Ryder Cup, or that type of thing? I think there's some possibilities like that may happen. So we'll just kind of see what happens there. But a lot of cool stuff you can do with it, and man, it's kind of taking off right now.
And you can booze on the course then too, eh?
Apparently you
Are
can.
you
I mean,
boozing on the course,
not necessarily you,
No,
but Newski apparently.
with Niski. Yeah, I mean, Frank, I'm over there hydrating, man. I'm drinking my electrolytes. I'm drinking my waters. I'm trying to be primed for competition, just like you'd be proud of.
Uh-huh. Not me on the golf course. I need a couple drinks to meet it. I'm like that. I need to be like, maybe I need to have one of those breathalyzers and be right at a 1.2.
Yeah,
maybe that's my
sober Frank can't play golf too well.
But buzzed up Frank's not terrible.
A buzzed up Frank is a problem out there. You can catch fire.
I can catch fire.
You gotta watch out. You gotta watch out.
Anyway, awesome. Well, Ryan, so all right, we got golf. What else? Hunting. What else do you want to cover, man? Because I think we've hit kind of some of the big ones.
Are you hunting anymore, Ryan?
I would love to go. I really hadn't been going a ton. I need to get out there, man. I've been playing a bunch of golf. We've been doing a bunch of family trips. Like we actually were out west skiing a couple weeks ago, which was really fun. Just doing stuff like that with the kids, but haven't hunted a ton lately. So need to get back into it, man.
Yeah, we do. We need to have like a reunion back and get down in Kansas City, stay at Clint's place. And,
that'd be fun, man. I literally was, Paige and I were cleaning the garage out yesterday because it was like finally had some good weather here in Nashville. And I literally was like cleaning that. I had like 3 or 4 bows in the garage. And I was like, man, can't remember the last time I shot one of these things. So that'd be fun to find a weekend or a couple days and get the boys back together, man. That'd be awesome.
No question about it. Well, Ryan, yeah, that was awesome. I appreciate the insight on your life and everything and how it took to get there and all of our past war stories. Yeah.
That's right, dude.
That's all we got here.
We appreciate the time, man. This
Well,
was cool.
Boys, thanks for having me on, man. This is cool. I'm proud of you guys. And Frankie, I want to hear about the business you guys started at some point. We got to catch up. I want to hear about that.
If you need any vehicles moved, I'm your guy. And if you know anybody dealership space that is moving vehicles, send them my way as well.
Actually, I have somebody I may need to connect you with on that.
Would love that.
So
would love that.
Would love that.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, Ryan, again, thank you for the time, dude. We appreciate you coming on and giving us, a little background in your life there. And yeah, thank you so much.
Awesome, man. Hey, appreciate it, guys. Y'all be good.
See you, Ryan.
Likewise.
See you, boys.
Thank you for watching the most recent episode of Dealer Out of Office, sponsored by Auto Hauler Exchange.
Auto Hauler Exchange is a B2B marketplace where our customers post their shipping opportunities direct to carriers. The technology and the operations team I have behind me take care of everything else.